sometimes doing hard things requires doing simple things in the beginning. And it's accumulation of all those simple things. Like the Chinese say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Absolutely. Taking those small steps. Can you give us an example of a simple thing that others may have taken for granted, but that you thought was important and that you saw as a key ingredient or as a step towards achieving a much, much more difficult thing?
Well, let me give you an example of city of Kigali, where it was 20 years ago and where it is now. Completely different worlds. So when you look at the city now, the infrastructure, the cleanliness, the traffic lights, everything almost in place, you would say doing this thing was very hard, right? But the journey started 20 years ago. And starting with what you can do, just do it right. I remember having a discussion with fellow cabinet members when this whole thing about keeping our environment clean and sustainable. And the beginning of the conversation was, do we need donors to give us money to keep our homesteads clean, to even ourselves as tidy and safe and healthy as we can? There are things we can do. We don't have to wait for somebody to come and hand us to us the means to do that, because we have the means within ourselves. So I said, why don't we do what we can at this moment? Why don't we just, pick the litter and put that in the right place where they belong in. And then with the time, as the economy grows and does fine, as the revenues grow and so on, and of course as donors, donate to us what they can and usually do, then we shall, from these means acquired, start investing in the things we weren't able to do because we had no means for that. So the simple things, therefore, that looks simple. I just, for a light moment, I would say, sometimes when that exercise started, I would be driving in the city. When I saw the litter around, plastic bags, paper thrown all over, I would literally, stop my car, convoy, and that tended to also stop the traffic. But the purpose would be I would get out with my escort guards who are paid to do different things and say, let's we would pick that litter. We would say, why would I pass and leave the
whole
litter
president of a country picking up litter.
Exactly. So, but that has an effect. One, even starting with my entourage, they started thinking, we shouldn't leave this whole thing here. First of all, why do people go throwing litter around? And same time, the traffic that has come to a halt, because I think they would even start saying, what is this man up to? What's wrong with him? When they see me do that, they start thinking about it. They say, why would, as you said, why would the president stop and do this? And then next you say, maybe I should also not just pass by this and do that. So these are simple things. You don't need to pay a lot of money. You don't need to be paid a lot of money to do that, to just, this is a simple thing. But that in combination now with the investments that are to be made ahead now for the hard things to happen, you see, one thing leads to another, but they also are complementary. If you waited to go for the big thing and the hard thing, and then you leave these small things here and there without paying attention to them, then you probably miss the point, and in the end you don't arrive at the good results you want.